And we're gonna do a couple of different things today. So we're gonna do some centering like we always do, but then we're going to do some sounding just to open up the lungs and the chest and really tonify the vagus nerve, which is very, very important for stress resilience and just managing stress and helping us to cope in the world. So when we make sounds, any sound at all, we lengthen the exhale naturally because of that. And the vibration of our voice, doesn't matter what it sounds like, whether you feel like it's beautiful or in a certain key or not, but just the sounding vibrates and massages the internal organs and actually really helps to free up energy. So we're going to do a little bit of sounding. I really recommend and invite you to participate in this. We'll do it just for a minute or two, and then we're going to actually add to that a mudra, a hand mudra, a yoga mudra. So this yoga mudra is called Ganesha mudra. It's used for energizing and opening up the chest cavity. So it's palm over palm, and then you just bend your fingers and hold on to your palms like that. And then your hands go here at the diaphragm. Yeah, and just let your shoulders slide down your back a bit. No tension, no pulling or anything, just a nice soft grip here. So we'll sit like this, and we'll take some deep breaths. Take a nice inhale in and let it out. And again, and let it out. Good. So you can have the eyes closed if you'd like to, or leave them open. It's totally up to you. But we'll start with an ah sound. So first open your mouth really wide and kind of stretch out your jaw. Like ah, and stretch it, move your jaw around, stick out your tongue maybe. All of that. And then take a nice deep breath in, and then let out an ah from, imagine it coming from down here in your diaphragm and chest rather than just in your throat. And just keep, when you run out of air, just keep taking a full breath and continuing. See if you can have a little open mouth and a little smile on the lips to open up the cavity of the mouth. Good. And let that come to completion. And the next thing we'll do is take a breath, and keeping the lips closed, we'll hum. Keep going. Notice where you feel the vibration. It's going to feel like it's in a different part of your chest or head, possibly. Come to silence. For the last round, we will combine the ah and the in whatever way works for you. So just leaving enough time in the breath for both ah and feeling where it vibrates as you change from the ah to the one more time. Just noticing how your body feels. You can let your arms or hands rest upright on your lap if that feels more comfortable now. So our practices today are to energize and to stimulate creativity. So in this time of spring, you may have noticed, if you've been out and about walking, the beauty of the spring flowers and the weather and the birds and all of creation just bursting into this beautiful masterpiece, this ever unfolding creation. And as we engage with creation, as we engage with the beauty around us, even if that's just a bouquet of flowers that we bring in from outside, as we engage with beauty, it sparks our own creativity, our own ability to create beauty in whatever way that takes form for you. Whether it's visual or acts of love or creative acts of service or gardening, or the creative ways that you might play with your pet or communicate with your loved ones. Noticing how we are always creating, and when we are creating in that flow, then we are energized. In our retreat we did a few months back, Rabbi Miller and I did a retreat. I know some of you were there. And our theme at the time was from Genesis. It was from the Torah portion of Vayera, which is, there's a lot in it, Vayera, but we chose to pull out this theme of I lift my eyes, I see, and I behold. And this idea that when we stop to be present, when we lift our eyes to look around us and really not just see, but to take in, to behold what we see, there's this exchange of sacred, holy energy. And so in our physical practice today, that's what I'm bringing, this idea of lifting our eyes, of seeing and beholding. So since we've been sitting for a few minutes, I'll have us stand to do some of our eye exercises, just so you can stretch your legs out. Let's start with some hip circles. Nice and slow, just noticing how your hips feel today. So these hip circles are really good for lower back. When you come forward, make sure that you keep your belly engaged so that you are not stressing out your back by just relaxing into the belly. So you want to really pull the belly in, and maybe don't lean forward as much if you're having any low back problems. Make sure you're changing direction. And then start to make a figure 8 or an infinity symbol with your hips. Good. And then bring your legs together, or maybe just hip width apart. And we're going to extend the right leg and just start to do some ankle rotations, both directions, pointing and flexing the toes. Always know that if you need some support for balance, you can use a chair next to you or a wall. Good. And then start to, with your knee slightly bent, start to draw circles as if there's a little paintbrush on your big toe. Draw some circles on the canvas below you, both directions. You might feel that this is very challenging on multiple levels, right? Balance, our legs are heating up. Good, and then relax that leg, shake it out. Staying with the right leg, go ahead and lift the knee as much as you're able to, and then bring the knee out to the side, and then back a bit, and then up again. So from the side, it looks like this. So we're warming up the core here and warming up the hips. And if any time you need to tap down for balance like I've been doing, please do that. You can reverse. Can you feel your left leg starting to fatigue at all or get a little warm? Ooh, okay. Shake it out. And then we'll lift stand on the right leg and lift the left. And do some ankle rotations. Point and flex. Good. Bend the knee slightly and start to draw, maybe point your toe and start to draw some circles. This helps to have your belly really pulled in for this. As you engage your core, balance becomes a lot easier. And as you bring your shoulders over your hips as much as possible, that helps. Good. Take a little break. And then lift your left knee, bring it out to the side, a tiny bit behind you, and around and back up. Squeezing the standing leg for support, changing direction. Good, one more. And then release, and just shake that out. Bring your legs together now. Hands on top of your thighs. You want to pull your belly in since you're bending over a bit. And we'll do some knee circles in both directions. Good. Stand up. We're going to do a swim. First, we'll just do some shoulder circles. Just warm up those shoulders. Maybe slow this movement down to about half of the speed you were just doing. So you inhale up, exhale back and down. Inhale up, good. Exhale back and down. And then reverse, so inhale up and back. Exhale down and forward. Inhale back and up. Exhale down and forward, good. And then alternate, so just swimming the shoulders one at a time. Back. And then reverse, swimming the shoulders forward. Good. And then we're gonna stay with our legs wide and start to twist and tap the chest and the lower back. Full deep breaths. if you are practicing outside, it's a beautiful time to do it. You can take in the beauty around you and just really tap into the vibrancy of the energy of the plants and the animals. Even if you're inside, if you have a window that you can look out of and just really appreciate what surrounds you. Good. Come back to mountain pose. We're going to move through some forward folds here. So we're going to inhale, reach up. Exhale, dive forward with a flat back. And stay down here and make sure that you have a block with you or pillows or something if you need to rest your hands on. Bend your knees as much as you need to and relax your neck and release your head. Take a couple of deep breaths here. You're going to feel a nice, hopefully a nice stretch between your shoulder blades and through the whole back or wherever you feel it. We're going to look up first and then start to lift up with a flat back and come to flat back here halfway up. And then exhale, fold all the way down. And inhale, come halfway up. And this time, exhale, press into your feet, rise all the way up with your arms overhead and hands to your heart. So we'll do a couple of those in a little faster pace. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Nice full deep breaths. Inhale, come halfway up. Nice flat back. Exhale, release. Inhale, press into your feet, rise all the way up. And exhale, hands to your heart. One more time. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Okay, now you're going to stay here and start to alternate bending the knees. So it's almost like you're walking in place. You're going to alternate the bending of the knees. So now bend your right knee extra and try to straighten your left knee. And then change sides, really straighten the right leg as much as you can and bend that left knee a little bit more. Good. And then see if the legs want to straighten. If they don't, it's fine. And you're going to look up and reach out to the sides and stand. Hands to your heart. Good. So now we're going to just wake up the eyes and wake up the brain a little bit. So let's start with a brain balancing. So we'll march in place, and you can either bring your hand or your elbow, as long as you're crossing the body, the midline of the body. So simple little exercise to balance the brain. Good, keep the breath flowing. I love seeing all of your legs moving. The recording doesn't show the participants. The recording just shows me teaching. It just shows a couple of faces in the beginning if you're talking, and then the actual practice doesn't come through. Good, and then take a break. So you guys might remember this one. Swimming the arms back. So we'll swim the right arm backwards. So do a little backstroke with the right arm. Good. And pause. And now swim the left arm forward. Good. Now bring both arms up overhead. And we're going to bring the right arm back and the left arm forward. So it looks like this from the side. Till they meet at the top. Right arm back, left arm forward. Whoop, just like that. If this is super challenging, it's totally fine. It should be. It just means that your brain's working extra hard and you're creating new connections in the brain, no matter what. Pause at the top and then change direction. So right arm's going to go forward and left arm is going to go back. Right arm forward, left arm back. Breathing. Good, one more. Good, and relax your arms. And release your shoulders. All right, we're gonna rub our hands together, nice and vigorously. And we're gonna place them, cup them right over the eyes softly, and take a few deep breaths. You can have your eyes closed for this. Good. So now we'll exercise the eyes a little bit and then we'll rest them again. So take your thumb, I'll come a little closer since I'm also recording on a tiny device. So you've got your thumb, it doesn't matter which thumb. And you're gonna extend your arm and look at your thumbnail. Keep it in focus and just start to bring your thumb toward your nose until it's out of focus, and then extend the arm again. So we're just exercising the range of our focus since we're probably doing a lot of things that keep us in a very similar range, like screens and our phones and watches and all of that. So in and out, nice and slow. Anytime your arm gets tired, you can switch arms. Good. I'm going to switch my arm. The arm is extended, and now without moving your head, do the best you can to not lift your head or tilt your chin. You're going to, I guess I'll put my thumb sideways here. We're going to start to look at the thumb, lift it all the way up as much as we can. You're going to feel your eye muscles stretching here without moving your head, and then slowly lower the thumb down, down, down as far as you can while keeping it in focus, and lift without moving the head. Ooh. And lower. Good, back to center. If you want to switch arms, you can. Now we're going to take the eye focus from side to side without moving the head. So moving the thumb as much as you can to one side and the other, nice and slow. Can you feel your muscles like working, stretching and working? I can. Nice and slow. Good, back to center. And then just start to make circles, little circles, following the thumbnail with your eyes, and just start to make your circles bigger and bigger, remembering what direction you're going. See if you can take it out to your very edge of your vision and focus. Good. And then start, you can change hands, do another set of circles, but go the other direction. Okay. Keep breathing. Following that thumbnail with your eyes. And relax. Good. So now we'll take the hands, rub them together. And again, place them over your eyes. Imagine all the muscles of your eyes softening and relaxing, just floating in the sockets. Take some deep breaths. One more breath. And let it go. Good. All right. So we're going to open up our shoulders a little bit more with our yoga strap today, because we'll do some arm variations with our standing poses. So we want to warm up our arms for this. So get your strap.
Kendra?
Yes.
Sorry, it's Karen. Sorry to bug you, but My screen went into safe driving mode. I don't know why. Is everyone else still able to see Kendra?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I don't know about safe driving mode. I haven't seen that.
It must be on my side. I haven't left where I am. It just. Okay, I might leave and then come back.
Okay, all right. Good luck.
Sorry.
No problem. It's totally fine.
Thank you.
No problem.
Okay, hopefully.
So we've got this strap, and we're going to just, on the right side, we're going to throw it over our right shoulder.
Your sound went way down all of a sudden.
What was that?
Your sound went way down all of a sudden.
Okay, give it a minute. Hopefully it will come back. It did this once before. So you've got the strap over your right shoulder, and then you're going to reach behind you with your left hand. And the tendency here is to start to arch the back in order to bring the hands together. So it's very important that you imagine, just feel your rib cage just sitting on top of your hips and your shoulders sitting on top of your ribs, just stacked rather than arching. So you're going to bring your right arm behind you, left arm behind you, and start to walk your hands toward each other without arching the back. But get a nice stretch in the right tricep if you can, and in the left shoulder. Bring the right elbow close to your ear as possible, and work those hands close together. This is part of a cow face pose. The top half of it. Soft knees. Big breath. Good. So start to release your grip on the straps and just slide your hands away from each other. Especially that left shoulder stretch can be a lot. And then we're going to change sides. Walking your hands toward each other, but keeping the integrity of your alignment in your ribs and shoulders. So this side is much tighter on me. I bet you all have a tighter side. Good. Bring that upper elbow close, or upper arm close to your face if you can. And breathe here. Let's take one more deep breath. And then start to slide your hands slowly away from each other. Shake out your arms. The next stretch we'll do, we can let the strap go. We're going to do an eagle arm stretch. So arms are out to your sides. And bring your right arm under your left. Crisscross those arms. And then bend the elbows. If you can clasp your hands together, great. If you can't, for various reasons, don't worry about it. Focus mostly on the squeezing of the elbows and the broadening of the shoulder blades away from each other. And play with lifting and lowering the arms, and notice where that changes the sensation of the stretch. Does one feel better than the other for you? One area, one lift or lower? Good. And release. And change sides. So left arm comes under right this time. Take your time with this. Honor your shoulders. And take a few breaths here. Good. Release back into your wide arm position, and then slowly lower the hands down. Okay, shake that out. All right. We're going to work with some standing poses. So our first pose is Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. So you'll step the right foot forward and line the front heel up with the back arch, or somewhere close to that, and bend that knee as much as you can. So you want to keep your knee pressed toward your little toes. So it's really common. See me caving my knee in? That's no good for the knee. So you want to press your knee away towards your little toes. And open up your arms. Good. Pull the belly in. Remember we talked about like rib cage needs to be over the hips and not flaring forward. So you want to keep that all nice and engaged. And look over your right arm. And take a few breaths here. Shrug your shoulders up really high and then drop them down as low as they're going to go. And squeeze the tips of your shoulder blades together. Good. Now we're gonna straighten the leg. Take a breath in. Exhale, come back into warrior two. And we're going to take our arm variation of the right arm coming to pat yourself on the back and the left arm coming behind you. I know you don't have your straps this time, but that's okay. Just reach for your hands, wherever they land is fine. And either look straight forward or to the right part of your body, or look up. Feel your front leg getting nice and warm. Good. Now release your arms back into warrior two. Bring your hands to your heart and step your back foot forward. Other side. Left foot forward. Nice bend in the knee as much as you can. Arms out. Breathe here. Pull your belly in. Drop your shoulders down away from your ears. Really activate those arms. Think of those fingertips just with little sparks of divine energy just shooting out from your fingers. And then the arm variation. So pat yourself on the back with your left arm. Reach back behind you with your right. Check in with your core. Make sure you didn't lose your core connection. And breathe. Good. Straighten the leg. Release your arms. Step your back foot up to meet your front foot. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, fold forward for just a little break for your back. Take a breath here. And then look up and reach out and stand up. Good. Hands to your heart. So we'll do warrior two once again with the right foot forward. Same setup for the lower body. The back leg wants to turn in just a tiny bit. That foot might be at about a 45-degree angle. Your arms are in a T position. Now this is optional, so you don't have to take the arm variation if you don't want to. We might do eagle arms. So bring the right arm under the left, crisscross those arms, and bend the knee and sink into your warrior. Breathe. Release the arms. Place your back hand on your back leg. Reach up with the right arm, coming into reverse warrior. Really fill up that whole right side of your body with lots of air. Stretch it out. Exhale, come to warrior two. Hands to your heart. And step your back foot up to meet your front foot. Last set. Left foot's forward, warrior two. Create a nice strong foundation. If you're doing the arm variation, I think left arm goes under right this time. Sink into that front foot if you can. Feel your heel really connected to the floor. Feel your outer edge of your back foot connected to your mat. And breathe. Unfurl those wings. Drop your back hand. Reach your front hand up into the heavens. Breathe. And float the arms back to warrior two. Bring those hands to your heart. Very good. And step your feet forward. So we're going to move into Prasarita Padottanasana, which is just a wide-legged forward fold. So pick which side you're going to face and open up your legs. Bring your block with you. Open up your legs as much as you can. And keep your core nice and tight and hinge at your hip crease. And come all the way down. If you need to keep your knees slightly bent, that's totally fine. Or you can straighten them. Relax your head. Maybe turn it from side to side. Nod yes and shake no. You can hang out here, or if you have a favorite modification or variation of this, you can do that. Arms out or super close or holding the feet, whatever you like to do here. One more big deep breath. Let's actually do a lion's breath here. So take a big breath in, and as you exhale, stick your tongue out really far and let out a ferocious sound, a breathy sound. Ready? So I want you to stick your tongue out so far that you get your chin wet. Okay, breathe in. One more. Good. Now we're going to come up really slow. So press into your hands so that you're halfway up. Take a second here to reorient. And then turn your toes out and your heels in and bend your knees and come to standing, but you're in a little bit of a squat. Whew. Little squat. So it doesn't have to be big. It can be if you want it to be, if you really want to work your legs today. But you can have it also just be a soft, gentle squat. And breathe here. We're going to do another energizing breathing technique. We've done it a lot in Neshamah yogas. I think most of you are familiar with it. And you can do this at any pace that you want. So you don't have to match what I'm doing. So you're going to breathe in through your nose and through your mouth. And you kind of tap on those ribs as you come down. Nice strong arms. If you get dizzy, just slow down. One more. Good. Let your palms rest upright. Find your breath. Make sure your lower body is comfortable. If you need to shift how you're standing in this little squat, please do so. So we'll move through a mantra or an affirmation with our yoga pose. So it is, I lift my eyes, I see, and I behold. And hold on to the heart. I lift my eyes, I see, and I behold. Hands down here. I lift my eyes, I see, and I behold. Again. I lift my eyes, I see, and I behold. Take a second, wherever you are, even if you're indoors, face whatever direction you need to. Take in some kind of item of beauty or item of nature, something that's beautiful, and practice this affirmation 2 or 3 times while you take in the beauty that's around you. And then we'll come back to standing in mountain pose when you're done. Good. Let's all come to our seat. You'll want to have your block or anything you use for Shavasana, any little creature comforts, blocks, eye pillows, regular pillows, whatever you need to have nearby. And we're going to come onto our backs. Actually, have your strap too. Come onto your back. And we're going to use our strap just to stretch the legs for a moment before we start to settle towards Shavasana. So bring the strap around your right foot. Extend your left leg or keep it bent. And just move your leg gently in different directions. Just ironing out any tension in the legs. Remembering to engage your core, especially if you bring your leg out away from the midline of your body. And keeping the shoulders relaxed. Now go ahead and release your strap and take a figure 4 stretch on this side. So crossing the right ankle over the left thigh or knee with the feet flexed and holding on to the back of your left thigh. Soften your jaw. Soften your eyes. Good. Release this and just lie flat on the floor and just integrate the work you just did on the right side. Notice the difference between the right and the left legs. And then when you're ready, change to the left side, bringing the strap around the bottom of the left foot. Slide those shoulders down away from your ears. Flex your left foot so the heel is reaching toward the sky, and then explore the range of motion here and any places that could use a little extra stretch. Bring your leg back to center and release your strap. We'll take a figure 4 stretch on this side. Left ankle over right thigh or knee. Feet flexed. Go ahead and release this side and stretch your legs out once again for a few breaths. Good. Go ahead and bring your knees your feet toward your bottom. And bring your fingers to your frontal hip bones. You can see me, I think. And your knees are just about 4 to 6 inches apart. So they're like the width of the skinny side of a block. And we're going to do some pelvic tilts to support the lower back. So without lifting your tush off the floor, you're just tucking your tailbone and pressing your lower back into the floor. So you'll feel a nice little activation of the core muscles as if you were going to do a crunch. And the lower back is pressed into the floor. The butt does not raise. And then arch the lower back so that somebody might be able to slide their hand between the floor and your lower back with a little gap there. So you're arching the back. And then as you exhale, you're pressing your lower back into the floor. So just tilting the pelvis forward and back. Your hands are on your frontal hip bones just so you can get a sense of that movement. And do this really slow. So we want to just bring some nourishment to the lumbopelvic hip complex, that whole area of muscles in the lower back and the hips. And connect the movement to your breath, so that will slow you down. Inhaling as you have that little arch. Full exhale as you flatten and then press into the floor. Good, let's do one more. And come to center, just relax here, breathe. And now bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself a squeeze here. And bring your knees to your left for a twist. So block under your knees is great if you need it, or between your legs. And the arms are going to open into a nice T position. Let the lower body get really heavy in this twist. Slowly bring the top knee up to center, followed by the bottom knee, and bring your twist to the other side. Bring those knees back to center. And from here, we will move toward Shavasana. But if there are any stretches that you would like to do, any inversions or last minute movements that your body needs, take a couple of minutes to do those. And then I'll ring the singing bowl. I'll chime it when it's time to start to officially settle into Shavasana. most comfortable position that you can, to allow your body to rest deeply for the next few moments. As your body gets comfortable, I'm going to invite you to breathe in for a count of 4 and then breathe out for a count of 4. Breathing in for a count of 4. Breathing out for a count of 4. Just to equalize the nervous system. And do that a few times until you naturally want to come to your own rhythm of breath. This reading is from the Path of Blessing. And this quote is by Rav Abraham Isaac Cook. When you feel a lack of understanding and your creativity declines, run to the hidden spring. The higher waters will refresh you, and you will blossom. God's blessing will return to you. You will become like a gushing spring, like a river that does not cease. Live and take delight in all that is good. Ascend, rise higher and higher. I lift my eyes, I see and I behold. I lift my eyes, I see and I behold. I lift my eyes, I see and I behold. I lift my eyes, I see and I behold. I lift my eyes, I see and I behold. I lift my eyes, I see and I behold. Lift my eyes, I see and I behold. Lift my eyes, I see and I behold. I lift my eyes, I see and I behold. Bring one hand to your belly and one hand to your chest and take a full deep breath. Engaging with your deepest self as a beautiful creation, as a masterpiece in progress. And as you're ready, roll to your side and take a few breaths before you rise up. Let your hands rest at your heart. Please join me in our call and response prayer. May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings be safe. May all beings feel peace. May all beings be loved. May it be so. Ken Yehi Ratzon. Shalom.